Welcome, welcome. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Diginachi Sequence. We got me, Carr Speaks, and the official co-host of the Diginachi Sequence and the homie that we all know and love, XRP Sean. What's up, brother?
Hey, Will, how you doing, brother?
Good, man. Excited to hang out and talk about some crypto today. I think we're going to get into some things, gold and silver, and just what's going on in the crypto market in general. There's been a big week at Davos with the World Economic Forum. I'm excited to talk about some flare DeFi opportunities to be able to use your XRP to earn actual yield, which is a very new thing. It's only been about a month or so that we've a little longer than that we've had FXRP, but we're gonna dive into that. And Sean, I know you got some things written down, and we're gonna get into it and have a fun one. So yeah, man, tell
Well,
me.
speaking of rare earth minerals, I was not on the last show because I was in Hawaii watching a volcano. That was epic. Let's see, I swam with some sharks, no cage. Just doing all the things. Tried to make it
Pretty
back to
awesome.
the room in time. Didn't work out, but epic trip. Glad to be back. Now it is 73 degrees in Hawaii right now, and it is 1 degree at my house. So let's get it started.
Let's
First
do it,
thing
man.
I want to talk about is gold and silver. Now,
Heck
gold
yeah.
has just passed $5,000,
It's almost
and
5,100 as we speak.
our beloved Smoke Dog has said that is extremely undervalued still. And silver is about to tap, if it's not already, 110 spot, which is amazing. And Shanghai is still trading higher than us. And, silver's just exploding. We had talked about the bull flags in prior episodes, and they're coming true before our very eyes. And the U.S. Mint, they have stopped production of their silver eagles and other numismatic items.
Why do you
They're,
think that is, Sean? Why would they stop production of their eagles and their rounds?
well, could have a lot to do with the fact that they don't have a lot of silver, or the fact that they're just hitting pause while the price continues to go up. But anyway, you look at it, we're still so far behind when you take in inflation into consideration over the years. It should still be way, way higher. And I'm seeing things, now we're seeing 4-figure silver and 20 plus $1,000 gold. They're talking about it. In years past, you could raise a brow at it and really not think too much of it, but it hasn't taken a whole lot of time recently just to go from $27 to 105.
Well, and yeah, 109 is what I'm seeing on the chart right now.
It's incredible. It's truly
It's
incredible.
pretty wild.
It's God's money, and I don't know why gold is so precious, but it is. And silver, just the utility value is epic. So if you're not holding on to silver, it's still not too late to get in. It's always good to have a small allocation of paychecks to going into, whether that's whatever you want to invest in, real estate, precious metals, crypto, stocks, whatever you want to do. It's always a good idea, because when you look back on it 5 years later and realize that, oh man, I've made 60 deposits into XYZ, whatever. But gold and silver are on the move, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Finally, all of our parents who've been holding for a very long time are finally starting to get excited about it.
Go Boomers.
Go Boomers. Go Boomers. You control everything right now. So, continue to be happy.
Boomer,
But
Boomer Sumer.
here on this channel, we love XRP, and we'll continue to love XRP. We believe in the utility value. The partnerships are continuing to grow. It's 500 plus documented, and they're building something epic, and it's easy to look at the apps. It's easy to check the prices out on wherever you look at them at and just be like, wow, that is a lot of red, which it is. It's kind of disheartening. You see these huge ups, and now we're starting to see where this valley is settling, and our next push up could be extremely epic
And soon.
very soon.
Yeah,
So
speaking of Ripple, I think it's very interesting. We just had the World Economic Forum annual meeting in Davos, and there was only two blockchain companies that were represented. If you don't, I guess you could count Coinbase as well, but they're an exchange. So, but as far as an actual blockchain, you had two companies represented, Ripple and Hedera. And the only blockchain company that had people speaking on stage was Ripple.
Mm.
So I mean, everyone can speculate however they want about that, but I find it fascinating that as all these conversations around blockchain and the utilization of distributed ledger technology is being had, there's only one blockchain company there involved in those conversations, and that's Ripple, and that's Brad Garlinghouse leading the army, leading the charge. I mean, think what you want, but to me, that speaks volumes about what's about to happen with XRP and the actual utilization of it.
Wasn't there a little riff between Ada and Ripple or Brad
But yeah,
in
that happened
particular
this week.
this week?
Yeah, it seems like Charles Hoskinson didn't get invited to the party and he's kind of upset. But, honestly, listening to Charles, I can respect his very purism point of view. But I think the reason Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple are so excited to get this Clarity Act done and finalized is because they've already got the partnerships lined up. It really doesn't matter some of the nuances of the bill itself. They just know that once the bill is done, it completely opens the floodgates for them to do everything that they've been building for the last 15 years.
Right, and there's something to think about as far as things not being perfect. This is something we've seen time and time again when it comes to any bill that crosses Congress and the Senate. It seems like none of them are perfect, and there's always something thrown in at the last second that's not gonna please somebody. Now, I can totally agree with people who get pissed off about those kinds of things because, that's where we see money going to random countries that we don't wanna spend our tax dollars on.
Amen.
But when you're looking at something like this, something this monumental, and Brad sitting there going like, "Hey, look, it might not be perfect, but we gotta get something going. We gotta get this ball rolling." I can respect that, and it's kind of good point that you make as far as Ripple's already got things figured out on the other side, and they're just waiting. So, if we pass something now and a year or 2, 4, however many years it comes back to be revisited, that's when you can kinda just fix some of the problems there. But I do agree that Charles has some good points to be made. But as far as pushing everything forward, that's what we have to do now, because if we wait, the rest of the world isn't. They're not waiting. They're continuing to move forward, and we just have to be there.
Well,
Speaking
yeah,
about Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the biggest issue that is being discussed around that, and, Brian Armstrong of Coinbase was even vocal about it too, is just the way that stable coins are going to be handled. The banking industry is really pushing to not allow just to not allow just idle stable coins to be able to accrue yield. But all that does is push the value into the blockchains themselves. It pushes it into the actual distributed ledger tech because it just means that the technology that's moving behind the scenes, the plumbing, is what can earn yield versus just a stable coin sitting in an exchange account. And so, although I do agree that, banks are trying to, save themselves, ultimately that was a big conversation at Davos of how the banks are basically just going to have to become crypto companies. Like even with the stable coin legislation written the way that it is right now that they're, having their arguments over, all it really means is that the banks are going to have to utilize the new plumbing mechanisms for the new financial system, and they're going to have to plug into that. But that's why someone like Brian Armstrong's upset because he wants you to just be able to hold your USDC on Coinbase and pay you. Well, if that's not the case anymore, that's totally fine. And I think honestly, that's a great segue into, the Flare DeFi conversation because a lot of people are just going to want to be able to hold something and do nothing and hope to make some type of yield. And there will be products for that. You might not make as much because the banks are going to take their cut, but we have the opportunity to use our blockchain technology and be our own bank. And, Sean, we were talking about this before the show and how very recently I've utilized a large chunk of my XRP holdings to wrap them on the Flare network and put them to work within Flare, where I'm making 8% APY on my XRP paid to me in XRP. So my XRP is growing at an 8% APY. And then whatever the value of XRP does, that just means the more money is being made. But if you've got 1,000 XRP, you're making an extra 80 XRP a year. So it's whatever the value of that 1,000 XRP is, I'm gaining 80 XRP a year per 1,000 XRP into this pool and vault, where that's just going to continue to grow and accrue. And that to me has always been why I got into crypto. Like I want the ability to have true passive income, like true passive yield generation, where I can generate cash flow just by holding these assets that are being used in the new financial system. And to see what they're talking about in Davos at the World Economic Forum, it's exactly like that. What that means is, and what they're discussing is exactly what Flare is doing and exactly what these DeFi protocols are doing. It's putting our blockchain to use to be the backbone of the new financial system. And that's how you earn yield. And guys, it's really not hard. I mean, at some point, I think I would love to make a tutorial video on how to do it. Like, it took me several hours to figure it out, but once you figure it out, it's it won't take me that long. It wouldn't take me that long to do it again. It's just a little bit of learning. There's just a learning curve, like anything.
Yeah, isn't it interesting that they don't want us to earn yield on the stable coins that sit in an account somewhere? But the
Yeah,
rules that they've given us is that you have to buy what to be able to have a stable coin in the US? What do
yeah,
you gotta
one
buy?
one to one for every dollar stable coin, you've got to have a dollar of a treasury bill,
Which is
a bond.
insane because guess what? They do with those bonds. It was never meant for us to sit here and make 5, 8, 10%. It was that was never for us, for
Hmm.
the peasants, for the people, the masses. Which is total bullshit because they're sitting there making who knows how much insane amount of money. They're all freaking out because fractional banking is on its way out, and we are starting to find ways, which you've been talking about this for months now, and you finally were able to make it happen. So hopefully, with a little bit of shared knowledge, we can possibly help some others out holding some of these tokens who want to, be in it for the long haul, who can, they can risk 10 or 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 of whatever to sit there and make 8%, which is a beautiful number considering they're still selling CDs at what, under 5?
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous, but
But yeah, I would
I've been
say even
talking about
then
this for
though, you're making a percent on fiat versus making a percent in the underlying tech. Like that's so different.
right, because that tech has a chance and those coins have a chance to grow exponentially versus the dollar, which is always going to be losing.
Right. Yep. Because you can be earning 4% on some high level entry, but if inflation's 7%, you're still losing. Oh, we got a special guest trying to join us. Oh man.
What's up, man? What's up?
Oh, he made
What's
it.
going on, fellas?
Man, what time is it
What's
right
up,
now?
dude? What game
Shit,
were
it's
you watching?
Rams versus Seattle.
Wow. So for all 13 people listening, Duran is late because he had to watch the NFL.
Yes,
Who
yes, I did.
you who
Lame.
what team are you going for?
I'm a Rams fan. We lost. Not
Mm.
happy, but I'm here.
I mean, you should know all that stuff's scripted, man. Come on.
And I still enjoy it though.
It's just whoever's betting. It's just wherever the lines are on Polymarket, dude.
There you go.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Let them eat cake.
What's
Hey,
it?
man, I
What's
watched a little bit of the Broncos game, the first probably 3 minutes, and I was like, "All right, this is who knows what's gonna happen. Somebody does." But yeah, I mean, I wish I didn't feel that way, but I do. So
Well,
what's been good, Duran?
Hey, nothing, man. Just trying to survive the storm out here, man. We getting it bad out here. So it was a crazy couple days.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
everywhere,
give
man.
us
It's
a
one
rundown.
degree here.
What's it doing outside?
Well, it's just finished up, but we got about like 13, 14 inches out here.
Whoa,
It was crazy, man. Yeah.
it's a lot for
How
They
cold
said
is
Ohio.
the
it?
drop is gonna be negative degrees going into the rest of the week. So it's gonna be the snow plus the frozen tundra. So should be interesting. We'll see how it go. We'll see. I went out and shoveled today. I was like, oh, man, yeah, this some old school shit right here. But I didn't want it to get all cold and icy, and then I can't get out for real. Get out. So, but it was all right.
Man.
Well,
Well,
that's
since
nice.
well
Did
since
y'all
we
did
took
y'all
a
get hit out there or no?
Not
No.
really. No, I mean it is like 1 degree at my house, but there's probably half an inch of snow on the ground, and I got tons of friends in Texas that were gearing up for the worst, and the pictures that I'm seeing are just an 1/8 inch frost over everything, but still nobody's going outside to drive.
That's typical for Texas.
they can't
They
handle
don't like
the
any of
snow,
that.
man.
They don't know how to drive in that stuff, or they don't even know how to treat it. It's like they got who knows how many billions of dollars sitting around, but they can't afford sand and salt for
Nope.
trucks to go around once a year.
Well, since we kind of had a chop up here with Duran jumping in halfway through the show, we're gonna take a moment for the sponsor of the show, Genesee Nutrition, my protein bar, finally launching the Bison Tallow protein bar. So I got a Snickerdoodle one here, and
Hey man, that's a good looking package. I
it's a
must
great
say.
looking package. Sean's wife is the brilliant mind behind this packaging.
Yeah,
And
shout out to Alex and Nicole
yeah,
for weathering Will's storm.
there's always storms. But yeah, look at this, guys. It's literally peanut butter and tallow and whey protein. It's amazing.
I will have to say that that bar looks tiny in Will's hands. However, in a normal person's hand, that would look like a much larger item.
How does it taste? How does it taste?
Dude, it's so good because it's real food, man. Like it melts in your mouth. Like it's tallow and peanut butter. All organic, like clean flavors.
It's,
Raw honey, sweetened with just raw honey, no other sweetener.
well, that's I'm so glad you're taking time to eat on the show. And shout out to Genesee Nutrition for giving Will a reason to brush his teeth here in a minute.
You don't even have to, man. There's nothing. There's nothing to get stuck in your teeth.
My gosh.
It's
Give me
great
a
being followed by raw milk, though.
and also shout out to the local farm supplying Will with his half truck of raw milk every week here in
Gee,
Colorado. He's keeping that company afloat by himself.
Yeah.
single-handedly keeping them afloat is crazy.
And I'm telling you what, dude,
Someone's got to be Superman, bro.
dude,
So
we play softball, we play
here I am.
basketball. It doesn't matter. Everybody's drinking Gatorade, water, whatever, and Will's got his jugs of milk out there.
Oh my
Just
God, I'll be
just
throwing
like
over.
I'll never forget the first time he brought it out and just like chugged this milk, and the next pitch went 400 feet on the softball field into the playground in the school next door. But
Giving them superpowers out here.
it's neither here nor there. This is the Diginachi sequence, and we're happy to talk to you guys about health in every retrofit, whether it is for your body, your mind, your finances, or your spirituality.
Absolutely.
Amen.
We are here for that. And to tell you that, what's the flavor of the bar, Will, and when do they come out?
This is a Snickerdoodle. We've got
I'm sorry, one more time. You had some food in your mouth.
This is the Snickerdoodle. We've got Snickerdoodle, white chocolate toffee, and coffee latte that'll be available right around Valentine's Day.
Amazing.
White chocolate toffee. That's actually my rap name. Thank you. Anyways, well, what else is going on in the space now that we got our sponsor out of the way? I only believe it's probably 3 minutes worth of sponsor plugs, so I hope they pay well. Duran,
I bet I can get them to do the posting and all the shorts and stuff.
We've been talking about silver, gold. Just it's kind of what we've been talking about, and then we got into a little bit of what Will's been getting into as far as his Flare. What are you
Flare
calling it, Will?
Flare DeFi. So I'm
Flare
making,
DeFi.
as officially as of yesterday morning, I got in on the upshift Flare or FXRP vault, and I'm making 8% on my XRP. So I put a pretty big chunk. I put a pretty big chunk, about 2/3 of my portfolio, I'll say, into this FXRP vault that's paying 8%, accruing in XRP. I'm just every moment of every second of every day, I'm getting a little teeny bit more XRP, which
Gotcha.
is awesome.
Not financial advice from us or anybody else.
No, I mean, do
But
whatever you want. If
yeah,
you don't like to make money, like, don't do it. But
I'm excited to hear about it week to week, see where you're at,
Yeah,
get the weekly
absolutely.
rapport. But things are kind of down right now. I'm about to go eat a Wagyu steak that I bought, to try to lift my spirits.
Literally.
steak
Y
can
you
do that.
know?
I
Yeah,
just took a bunch of ribeye out of the freezer.
man, I tell you what, I've never seen a steak look so beautiful and cost so much. So, I'm definitely gonna go do that right after this, and,
I'll be on
we
my
got
way over.
The markets is crazy though. Like I stop even looking at it. I just bypass all portfolio looks and market shares of anything. I look at the news, I'm enjoying that because it's always positive. We see adoption happening everywhere, which is awesome. That's what we want to see. So I'm just looking at it from the long term and I just act like my portfolio doesn't even exist because I don't even want to see it. Like it's just outrageous.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta delete the app, download it 2 hours later.
Every time I turn around, it's like crypto liquidated 80 billion in shorts or whatever. And I'm like, holy crap, man. Like, we still doing this? Like, it's outrageous.
And I just want to tie this in one more time. And that's what's so beautiful about this DeFi, because no matter what the price of XRP is doing, I'm earning more XRP every day. And like that's why you get it. That is why I got into crypto, was passive yield income opportunity. And so no matter what the price is doing, I'm making 8%. And sure, maybe I'm making 8% and the value goes down. So it's not really 8% in those terms, but it's 8% in the terms of the actual underlying blockchain. So
Right.
when that ultimately goes much higher, I'll have made a lot more than 8%. But then eventually, yeah, I would love to use it as an additional income stream if I need it. But otherwise, just let it keep growing. And
Yeah.
so without that, you're just hoping that price appreciates. And we all know it will, and we understand why the price of these blockchains are going to go up. But in the meantime, something's actually happening, and that makes me feel so much better. Even when the price is going down or it's going up, like I know that I am earning yield, and that is sweet.
Is it going to be a locked in 8% or does that fluctuate based off of
It can
the market?
fluctuate a little. 8% is the target. Apparently it's been making closer to like 10, 11. Um,
Mm.
but it should settle around 8. And it's barely been open a month. I don't even think the vault has been open a month. Maybe like as of today or something, because I think it was like a couple days after Christmas
Yeah.
this went live. It's almost been a month, and it's doing great. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to report a month from now on
What it's
exactly how
like.
it's doing for me
Yeah.
personally. Yeah.
No, that's dope.
Well, they're stirring things up everywhere else in the whole media space. Like, you're looking at, it's just lots of issues right now. Things are hot. Things are hot,
Um,
almost reminiscent of 2020, 2021. And, I think I'm compelled to tell you guys that whether you agree with us, whether you agree with whoever about anything, keep the doors open and always be willing to have the conversation. Whereas I'm skeptical about this, Will's passionate about that, Duran is sure about this. It doesn't matter. It's so important to be able to have these conversations, to be able to continue to learn from one another. And if you don't agree with it, that's cool. You don't have to go out of your way to jump in our comment section and spam it. But at the same time, we are all human beings, and there is a crazy change happening right now, spiritually, financially. There's something going on, and we have to do our best to just, I guess I call it riding in neutral.
Hmm.
So don't get too crazy about a dip or a rise, and it's cool to think about the future and to have great plans for the things we hold on to, and it's smart to have exit strategy, but for the time being, it's important to go out there and live your life. Travel if you can, spend time with your family. I think I try to hit on this pretty often, but it is so important that we soak up every single minute of every single day because it's a gift. And crypto's cool to talk about, and all of our opportunities are great to embrace, but it's so important to live in the moment and to enjoy what we have right now. Because it's my belief that if you don't really appreciate what you have right now, then maybe you're not ready for something great to come. So here we
I
are.
agree.
We have a
Yeah, I think
podcast.
that's nailing it, man. Because it's I think that we get caught up in everything, but that's because we just passionate about what we see for the future. But overall, like I think the retrospective part of it is that you live every day, and enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy what you love to do. Because in the end, that's what, we got into crypto for, the freedom to have those choices. And eventually we'll have like a little bit more freedom that we want to be able to help and exceed whatever our expectations was. But right now it's just business as usual. It's, staying neutral and being able to like continue to roll the path that we all know is on. And, as humans, we get frustrated. We get, it's a discouragement, but like this channel and people like us, like giving us like the like realness about what's happening and then being able to like, level set and like talk some shit about it and then move on. I mean, you don't dwell in it, you don't stay there. Nobody's giving up on crypto. It's like, yo, this is some stuff that's happening. A lot of the stuff that's happening, we don't even know what's happening in the background. We just know that there's some shit that's happening that we can't explain, and when the time comes, the light will shine on it and we'll see like for all this was what we was waiting for. But like for now, we just living in the moment, man. So that's all we can really do.
Yeah. God is so good, man. Like 2026 already been a great start to 2026. No way.
Camera
Not
died.
again. You're
Hey man,
kidding.
there's some dark forces at work right now, dude. They try
You're
to interrupt you
kidding.
talking about God
Wow,
being
Will,
good.
what the hell? Sean is gonna give it
God
to
is
you again.
good all
Hey,
the time. If
I,
he
I
ain't,
will say,
then you lie.
had Duran been here the 25 minutes we'd been waiting, maybe it wouldn't have died.
Yeah.
But,
Blame it on Duran.
I
hey,
blame
man, I mean, I see you probably needing a placard over there, over there smacking pretty hard. But,
Man.
yeah, back to what Will is saying, that things are really good, and it does take forward action and proactiveness to really embrace the greatness of every single day. It's the glass half full, half empty outlook on life, and how good is it, how bad is it? It's as good or as bad as you make it.
Yeah. Like imagine this. Like if in another world, my camera could have died and you guys could have just no longer been blessed with my presence. But instead, there was a backup camera that turned on. Like,
even though it's not
God is
that.
good, man.
Yeah, and I mean, there is a lack of a little bit of humility right there, but I get what you're saying for sure.
Uh,
But hey, I mean, I have a couple other things written down, like abolishing the IRS and stuff, but we don't have to talk about that. Everybody hates the IRS, and if you want to abolish the IRS, stop fucking paying your taxes. Excuse my language, but Jesus, you, it's a voluntary thing that you sit there and look at this tax sheet every year and go, oh my gosh, I should give my money to them. Just not my financial advice or anything, but if that's part of your movement to abolish the IRS, then just stop paying. The only other thing that I have here is that Will had mentioned earlier, he talked about MoonPay and the X Games, if you want to dive into that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I was just in Aspen, Colorado all weekend for the X Games and hung out with some friends and met some really cool people. And that's the cool thing about Aspen is anytime you go to Aspen, you meet cool people. It is just a hub for cool people to come. And one thing that I learned while there is that MoonPay just signed I think a 5-year deal, but It was a $35 million sponsorship for X Games. So, I mean, just to think about the direction of the industry when we've got a company like MoonPay that allows you to either pay for products online with crypto or hook up your credit card to pay with crypto, where blockchain and crypto are actually being used for payments for products, and they're signing a $35 million sponsorship deal with X Games. I think that is just it shows us what's happening in the industry and where this is headed over the next few years.
You saw the news with Hedera partnering up with McLaren, giving like tokenization rewards to fans and stuff like that.
The sports car?
Yeah,
Nice.
that is crazy, man. Like they utilizing Hedera to be able to give fans different rewards and perks for coming to the races and purchasing McLaren merchandise or cars or whatever. So it's just becoming more mainstream. People who get the rewards from that, who are McLaren investors or fans, they probably don't even know anything about Hedera and the blockchain technology, but they're going to be getting rewards that's going to be built on top of it through McLaren. So like that's where we heading, and we don't even like most regular people don't even understand what's happening. They just happy to get whatever rewards that McLaren is rolling out, but because we are in the crypto industry, we see these blockchains getting adoption, and it's like pretty exciting to
And
see that.
you see it all over. What NBA, MLB, NFL. You're starting to see the like clockwork. Crypto.com, Coinbase.com. Just all these sponsorships that are happening where they're doling out to the point of billions now
Mm-hmm.
to make a presence. So it's happening. We're on our way up. We're still early, in my opinion, and I guess do some homework. All the ISO compliant tokens are XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, Algo, IOTA, ADA, and Quant. Those are the ones you should be paying attention to because they're the only ones that are compliant with the ISO 20022.
And each one of them got different adoptions with companies that is mainstream companies, banks, institutions that is pretty phenomenal to watch, man. And I know we talk about XRP a ton. That's probably the majority of our holdings, but like it's so many blockchains that, like you said, that's ISO compliant that bring in different use case. So if you're in the, if anybody out there is a big HBAR fan, get in the comments, give us any info because we'll love to talk about other things that's happening with other blockchains, because that's important for everybody to know about.
Yeah. And I just want to say while we've been on this call, silver just hit 109.30.
Are you serious? I just saw it hit 105 and it's 109.
109.30. So that means
Do you think
it's
what do you
definitely
think the
over
cap gonna be?
110 on AppMex.
What you thinking?
Yeah,
Like 120
I'm
before it
going.
starts coming back down?
And I think silver's going to $1,000 plus in this new financial system.
Okay, so spot on AppMex is 110.02 right now. So, and of course, this is a huge seller of rounds and all sorts of silver, but
Yeah,
I'm seeing a lot of people saying that the next thing that we have to break through on silver is 140. I keep seeing
140.
that number. So, the amount of resistance that has not been there,
Hmm.
breaking through 100, will just crushed 5,000 with sometimes you see these things and they hit that number and come right back down a few percent, but we've seen these numbers just get crushed. So we're over 5,000. I guess we're over 50. What's gold at right now? Over 51?
Is it
It's
over
like just
51?
under 50. It's like just under 51 on CME.
It's
Incredible.
outrageous. People keep saying like, well, we got to wait to see how fast it's going to get to K, how fast is silver going to get to 3 digits, and it blew past it this week. It's outrageous, man. Like, and I mean, honestly, that tells that story about like the financial system, man. Like, these people ain't flooding into that stuff just for the hell of it, man. There's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know that's happening, and the big money is moving in.
I mean, why do prices go up?
Right.
Why do they go up? There's still buyers all day long right now at $110 for silver,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it's
Absolutely.
still going up, and that's why the U.S. Mint's freaking out. U.S. Mint freaks out and stops the production and the sale of a lot of their silver products.
Hmm.
And, you know, you could say whatever you want. If it were me, I'd say, all right, let's hit pause real fast while this price continues to skyrocket and then we'll pick back up. But they're telling everyone they're waiting to see what the true value and they're revaluing silver. Now that's the US Mint. It's saying that they're revaluing. So
Right.
what is that true number going to be? We're nowhere near the golden ratio of the past. Like we still have a long way to go for silver to catch up to gold, but we're looking good, gentlemen.
I mean, it's
We
been
are.
suppressed for so long, man. So like it was only a matter of time with all the paper contracts on silver and stuff like that. Like
All the shorts,
a matter of time, man.
the largest shorts in history getting wiped out. Like that's an incredible thing. So hang on.
Hang on. And I will say that I personally contacted a few gold and silver bullion brokers here in Colorado this past week, and their comment to me was retail is only coming in to sell.
Right.
So, they basically were like, we make money regardless of whether we're buying or selling because there's a spread. That's our business. But the guys were like, I wouldn't sell. Was
Right.
That was their comments. So just think about that. Retail's not coming in to buy $110 silver.
No.
They're trying to sell it because they're finally in some profits. But usually, if the majority of retail is doing something, that doesn't, if the majority of retail is selling, that is not indicative of a top.
Nope.
No. And when you look at the chart guys and how they zoom out and look how high this thing could possibly go, it's a wise thing to think about evaluating those charts and seeing that right now we're kind of still in the beginning of this development of this huge bull flag that we're just witnessing right now. So it's a beautiful thing. I'm always encouraging to spread your portfolio out. If you weren't lucky enough to buy silver 10 years ago, people are buying the heck out of it right now, so it's still not too late. We're still at the beginning of this financial revolution that's happening before our very eyes.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of boomers that's selling that, been waiting for this moment for years because it's been suppressed for so long. So
But yeah, no, we definitely we did a shout out to the boomers earlier.
yeah, they
You
living
missed
their best life.
that.
It's time for them to get their yacht, man. They got to go get their yacht and live out the rest of their time.
It's
No,
been 84 years.
they're not, though. They're never selling.
Oh, come on.
How can you?
Well, when you call the silver guys that you called and they tell you not to sell as brokers, then probably shouldn't sell.
Yeah.
This is not financial advice.
No, never, ever.
Never.
But
That's in our
probably a good place to, if anybody made it this far in the podcast,
just
thank
our
you so
moms and
much.
dads.
It's now time, 40 minutes in, to say like,
Hi, Mom.
subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Ding.
Thanks for listening, Mom.
Yeah, thanks for listening. All the parents out there and family
Yeah.
and stuff.
Appreciate y'all.
We don't do it because we need sponsorships, but we got a new sponsorship today. So shout out to Genesee Nutrition and the company that made that label happen for you. All right. Well,
Yeah.
it's been a good one,
Love it.
guys.
Hey, man, good to see
Team
y'all,
effort
man.
here, man.
Hopefully there's some good clips with Will and his good camera. And we'll see you guys. We'll
Great
see you
thing
guys.
about
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just every angle is a good angle, is what I've been told.
Will is fucking.
He's very particular of who he keeps around him, so it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love you guys. It's been
Yeah,
a great
appreciate you
week.
guys.
Yeah, man. It's
It's
always
been
good.
fun.
Man.
I'll let you wrap up, Sean, so we can get a good camera for the closing.
Yeah, just again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Diginachi sequence. I'm XRP Sean, joined with
Will Carr speaks.
Crypto heavy.
and we will see you guys next week. Later.
Go.
Beep.